Welcome to the 2024-2025 Emerging Leaders Conference. This unique conference format allows for participants to address a problem scenario in a local application of leadership and then provide a video diary and report of the planning and implementation of their deliverable. The teams then converge at the beginning of next year, March 5th, 2025, at the UT Tyler Alumni House for an in-person event to share ideas and outcomes with others. Learn a bit more about leadership from someone who has experienced it in that area, and work together during some event tasks or opportunities. I'll bet you have heard of the term probably of a golden hour. This is generally considered to be the hour immediately following a traumatic injury in which medical treatment optimizes the chance for survival is most effective. For our purpose today, we're going to take a little bit of liberty to repurpose this term to frame the consideration and outline the project deliverable for this year's Emerging Leaders Conference. As you've heard, the intent is to examine the understanding and the need for empathy, compassion, and courage in the development of character for leadership. What better target for this than the implementation of disaster preparation and response consideration for a small community? This repurpose of the term golden hour and use it to frame a discussion about surviving the period immediately following a local disaster. What I consider a local disaster is an event with dangerous consequences that impacts you and yours at a minimum, but stops short of impacting a large part of the country. This can be anything from a wildfire, tornado, power outage, or hurricane. A clear assumption is that this is some form of advanced assistance and rescue will be available not immediately, but in the early stages. One only needs to review the hurricane season for 2024 to seek the local preparedness has its importance on how small community and its citizens survive. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from the 1st of June through November, and in 2024, the time of this video, there have been 18 named storms in the Atlantic, and 11 have become fully classified hurricane status. This includes one of the strongest storms, Milton, at 180 miles per hour and 876 millibars of pressure, and one of the earliest Category 5, Beryl, in June 28th. These are storms surpassing many recent history storms. Think of the videos and images you've seen of the immediate aftermath of events recently, whether the fires in the Northeast in California or the raging torrents of the floods for rain in mountainous areas that are rather remote and difficult to reach. In these, people are trying to escape fire, smoke, debris, dust, clouds, floods, high water, collapsed buildings, and other aftermath to survive. The most common approach to many of these people espouse is the issue that we will discuss as suggested, simply avoiding the locations and the situations where these become localized emergencies. While that sounds good, it is almost impossible to accomplish in real life. Even if you live in the middle of nowhere, you could still be subject to wildfires, earthquakes, floods, damaging building fires, bridge collapses, and other events that can quickly kill you if you are not prepared. This doesn't mean that planning and situational awareness aren't critical. You should still make sure you understand what types of events can occur wherever you go. What steps can you take to minimize their impact, and what are your options to get out alive if they do happen? So we'll look at different keys to kind of think through the preparation of organization and steps that you would need to establish. Two of these are timelines. When it comes to emergency scenarios, there are literally an infinite number of combinations that can happen in an infinite number of ways. But for the purposes of this planning exercise, is to try to break down some basic criteria to consider their types and effects and timely availability for the event. The impacts then are when the planning for and dealing with events, you should try to ascertain what impacts are in the scope of these events. Your tasks are to think of the needs of your chosen community and what resources you should prepare to deliver in the first 72 hours of the disaster of any kind, and how you would marshal your community to prepare and respond. I look forward to viewing your team's video submission and having discussion with you during the in-person event in 2025.